Alright, I have it started now. See if it wants to do the thing.
Wanted, I think I finished it.
What color is it? The same thing?
Yeah, yeah, I just...
Ooh, I think it's working now. Hey! How's the audio sound? Wanted?
Taking a second. It's delayed still.
Gotcha.
Or it's good. Vanilla was at least.
Well, that's not the
Hmm?
one I was having issues with.
I haven't heard you talk at all on it.
Rip. Is
Rip.
Or
ooh.
it's good. Never mind.
Okay. I was gonna say, did I turn it back on or not? Okay. Yeah, Yoshi, I think it's fixed now. I think we good.
No.
I'm hoping we good.
Yoshi's in here like, you fix it? I have the thing muted because we're here, but, you know.
Yeah, I can hear your TV over the thing.
Oh,
So
oops.
no, you're good. Like it's not like loud or anything. I can just hear it. So
Yeah, no, I was standing next to the... I was standing near the TV because the Supra was messing with me. Or
word,
painting it.
word.
I'm like, is this where that is on the other side? Yeah. Which turned into just winging it, which turned into me being done with the car. Save this so I don't mess with it anymore.
Alrighty. Well, let's just get on with where I was going anyway. All right. For tonight, first thing I'm going to do is explain the new format that we'll be using. We'll be trying out, which we may or may not use for the rest of the season, depending on how it goes. And then we'll break down what the schedule is going to look like, or the best estimation of what the schedule is going to look like. And then we'll get into the track stuff, and that'll be it. Like this is going to be shorter than usual because we're not having to do all the introduction kind of stuff that we had to do last time, and then the next one for our first actual round is going to be a little bit longer because we have to go through the championship stuff, which is different. You know, this has been preseason. This has been show up, try some stuff out, see what's going on, kind of thing. So, hasn't been as in depth as we could. uh, all right, so this system was made by a dude over in Australia named Krista Jaeger. He's from the Vic Drift series, and they started implementing it this past. I think they've done one round now using it, and I heard about it through Lone Star, Aaron Losi over there in Texas. They started using it because they've had the similar problems where you have a bunch of guys at different skill levels and everything. And he hated qualifying, and you know what? I kind of do too. Um, what this is gonna do essentially, here's the Spark Notes version, which is kind of what I've been feeding you guys this whole week. Basically, we're gonna do away with qualifying, and instead of having you guys do solo runs to figure out where you stack up, you're actually gonna have to battle for your position on the bracket. And I know that Excel screenshot that I put up there is a little daunting at first. It's actually pretty easy, and once I show you where you guys are all at, it'll become monumentously easier to understand. So basically, what we're doing, many of you guys remember from Forza 4, we tried splitting everybody up into different groups based on where you were at with your driving. So we had, the guys that have been on the game for a long time and knew what they were doing, have done a lot of battles and everything. Those guys were in the pro section, and the guys that were new or never got that far were in the pro-am section. That's what we used to do. And they would do 2 different events, 2 different series, so on and so forth. That ended up being a lot to manage. It took up a lot of time also because it had to be 2 different series and 2 different events and everything. This is going to combine it all into one event. In this version, instead of it being pro and pro-am, we have around 8 different divisions. It'll come down, how many divisions comes down to how many people we have sign up. Each division is 8 drivers, and basically how it's going to work is we're going to start from the bottom. So the bottom group of guys, they'll take on the second to last group of guys. So you have the bottom 8 going against the next highest bottom 8. Each one, you'll have 8 battles straight down the middle, 1 versus 1 from each division. The people that are left will then move on to the next division, the next highest run group. And then once we get to the last 2 run groups, basically the last 2 sets of 8, that's your top 16 bracket. So it's not a matter of, having 30, 40 people qualify, and then, by doing solo runs and running that quote unquote bias of us watching you and trying to figure out what you're doing and or anything else that can go wrong in qualifying. Now it's straight up, you start by battling and you finish by battling all the way through. What's the next? Yeah. For this event, we're going to do Division 1, which will be the top group, your top 8, is going to be our top drivers from Lime Rock and Indy. I went through and because there it went, train of thought. Whew, right out the window. Basically, the top 8 guys from Lime Rock and Indy are going to make up that top division. And then the second group on is going to be, or has been sorted by past performances. So if you did stuff with us on Forza 4, if you've done our events here on Forza 6, if you've done events outside of our events and done well, all that gets taken into account. And we'll seed you into these divisions by that. As we move along, if we continue to do this, basically the next event, which is like the end of this month, the results from this event will basically set the field for that one, and that's how it's going to continue going. There's no points for qualifying, so you don't even worry about where you're seated. It's not gonna, if we seed you in the 12th spot, you're not gonna get qualifying points out of that over someone that we seeded in like the 28th spot or anything. So it's all just gonna come straight down to how you finished in the last round. That's where we're gonna put you. Wherever you finish is where you're gonna start in the next event, basically. If at this point you're still kind of lost on what I'm talking about, like, I 1,000,000% understand. And this is the part where I try to make it a little bit easier. With a graph. No, it isn't. It's a little bit later. I'm just going to skip to the graph right now. Based on everybody that signed up, this is what the divisions look like as of this point. So, of course, your Division 1 is Bucket and Kuda and Jamaican Boy, Gained, all of those guys that did well at both Lime Rock and Indianapolis. And then the rest of these have been seeded based on other things that you've done, or they've been based on a combination of everything. So right now, basically, this is how it would work. You see the arrows pointing to or across from left to right. I'm going to start with Manila because we were talking about him earlier because he was asking. Actually, you didn't ask. I just said it.
Yeah.
Manila here, his first battle would be against Rossi 15, as you see here. He would face, these two would battle, and then the winner of that would then move on to face Hoonigan when they moved up into Division 2. That's how this works. It's a ladder. It's a king of the hill. You have 8 guys go up against the next 8 guys. The ones that are left then go against the next 8 guys. And then everybody that's left will go against the top guys, and then it'll work out like a traditional bracket from there. Now this who you're facing right now could completely change, based on if more people sign up, which I'm sure there are. There's gonna be, we have a little less than a week left, so I'm sure there's gonna be a few more people that sign up and everything. So this, of course, who you're slotted against is probably gonna change. But I just want to show you guys how this would actually work out. As of right now, and these times are extremely subject to change because we've never done this before. This is something that we're trying out. We don't know how this is going to go. We've done the traditional brackets before. We have a pretty good idea of how those work out, but this we have no idea. The aim is to have Friday night, depending on how many people we get. We did those lower run groups would go first. And then everybody that was left, we would then do on Saturday, right at our normal time, like we have been doing for the last couple events. And then from there, the top 16, obviously, that's going to go, like, by that point, we'll know what we're doing. And, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, though, obviously. If you have any more questions about it, honestly, once you do it once, I think it's going to be really simple to understand. If you don't think you're seated right, if you don't think we put you in the right spot, don't get too worked up about it. I can't do this. Lose my train of thought again. It'll all make sense once we start doing it. Track stuff. Of course, because this is a different type of track, this isn't a traditional racetrack. We're on the streets of Long Beach. I couldn't do the normal track map that I usually do. So I did something a little different this time to show everybody where to go, where you can't go, and the proper line. As far as tire warm-up goes, the overpass that's on the back stretch there, you can go anywhere in there to warm up tires before battles, and anywhere that's not on this map that you don't see, you're free to do whatever. All non-battling traffic is always going to go clockwise, so in the direction of the circuit. Unless, of course, you're returning from a battle run. Same thing as always, Once you get through a run, always turn around, come back, go back to the start-finish line. Or not the start-finish line, but the starting line. No spectators are allowed within the track. I know there's some spots where you can hang out and be safe and watch, but I want to keep all spectators back behind the wall, which I'll show you in a second. I'm sure a lot of you already know what I'm talking about right there. And then if you're there for media, if you're taking pictures for us or videos or whatever, then you can sit on the track. We just only have the 2 spots that you can sit in. The first one being in the runoff to turn 9, the second one being at the end of turn 10 up against the wall. Again, I'll show you that a little bit more clear. There we go. If you're not battling, obviously go to the spectator spot or stay in hot grid. Please, only the people that are battling should be between the start line here and the shutdown line. If you're called to battle, just come out from your spot in pit lane there and go to grid. It should be obvious. This track's pretty straightforward. There's not really a whole lot to get wrong here. Yeah, and if you are working media and you are in one of those two media spots, once a run goes, and you'll know everybody will be in the same party. So once a run goes, do not move from that spot. Only after you've seen a run finish should you even think about moving from one spot to the other or to the spectator area or whichever. And then we get to the part that I've never done before with pictures instead of a map because I couldn't get a map. Okay. The starting line is going to be, this is the second asphalt patch. You know about the one that's closer, right around the 500 marker. That's usually for public lobby stuff. That's usually where we start. But obviously with that being so close, we could have an Indy drag race again, and I don't want that. So basically, we want you to be lining up at the first or the furthest asphalt patch from turn 9, and then use the yellow lanes that are marked as your lanes for grid. Lead car always being on the left, and of course there's the tire warm-up area underneath that overpass. And then this is going to be a 40 roll, so somewhere around 35 to 40 miles an hour up until that first asphalt patch, the one where we usually start for public lobby drifting. So as soon as you hit that 500 marker, you can go ahead and take off. For restarts, it's the same thing, just the same thing as usual. Just shut down before the entry. Based on how I saw Indianapolis go, I have a feeling there's going to be an equal amount of drag racing as we saw last time, especially with this run up. So please, guys, if you're chasing and you don't like what the lead car is doing, just go ahead and shut down. Have the guy come back. 9 times out of 10, we're gonna tell everybody to come on back and redo that. So, at Indy we had a lot of that. There was a lot of guys winning on the roll, and it was a little interesting. As far as clips, because we're not doing qualifying where we're assigning point values and everything, there's not a set, usually we have five clips for sure that you're awarded points for. This time it's going to be straight all the markers that we want you to hit, with no limit here. First one is an inside at the inside of turn 9, and then the 2 outsides are going to be the 2 walls as you come through under the Firestone Bridge. The third one being against the wall at turn 10. And then with the hairpin, you need to start wide, apex late on the inside, and then finish wide. And of course, I do have pictures for this because I couldn't get a Google Earth shot, of course, which is what I usually do. Big thing here. We had a difference with Indy. We had a lot of people entering differently. We had some guys power over late. We had some guys e-braking early. And like I said, there was a lot of battles that were won and lost just on the roll. With this, everybody needs to be using e-brake and swinging wide before coming into that first inside clip. As you can see by the main set of tire marks here, I think, yeah. If you're gonna do something other than that, first of all, you need to let the chase car know that you're gonna do something different from this. And second of all, you're probably gonna get looked at in a negative light from us when we're judging battles. This is what we want to see you guys do. We want to see an e-brake swing wide, not really up against the wall on that outside. Just make sure you're swinging wide. Set yourself up for the corner properly. And again, here's the first inside. Just right at the apex of the corner. Oh, rumbles are all okay. Don't even worry about that. More than likely, if you're hitting a rumble strip here, you're gonna get burnt somehow anyway. So, just know we're not gonna sit here and count tire drops at this event. I know on like normal racetracks where we have grass to the outside of the track and everything, that's something that ends up happening is, oh, he dropped one here while the other guy dropped one in two different spots. That's not even gonna be a thing here. Don't worry about that. And then of course the first outside against this wall from this point and into the second wall. And of course, yeah, no, keep moving. And then there's your third outside. And I want to mention real quick, hitting the wall is not going to be a deduction or a detriment unless it severely inhibits your line. So keep that in mind. We want to see you guys get close to the wall and everything. We'd rather see people get close to the wall, touch it, and have to correct a little bit, versus guys going shallow and not getting anywhere near the wall. So don't let tapping the wall slightly be a detriment from filling that entire outer zone. And then the line for the hairpin, you want to tag the wall out here. And this is like the entrance to the hairpin. And then apex late. So you don't have to dual apex against both corners of the wall, just the second one. That way the chase car does have room to dive in and catch up. And then from there, you just finish wide. There's no like marked finish line here. Just make sure once you are up against this wall, you're able to shut down, show that you're in control of the car. And if you come through this and then are in the process of rotating and spinning as you're coming through this area, you're obviously going to put yourself into question. We'll have to consider whether or not you spun out and everything. Just make sure you shut down to show us that you're ending the run there. If you're not in the current battle, you need to be here. This is if you go into pit lane and turn right. This is where that is. Otherwise, the only other place that you can be, if you're not battling, the only other place that you can be other than here is over at the overpass by grid, or one of the areas that weren't on the main track map there. Then if you're with us for media, which anybody that wants to do that, anybody that wants to get replays and take pictures and videos for us, go ahead and get a hold of DMA Hoonigan. He's the one that's in charge of all that. These are the only two spots that you could sit though on track. The first one is that runoff past turn 9, and the second one is at the wall past turn 10. If we can only have 2 cars out in that turn 10 area. So if you're there, or if there's somebody there and you want to be there too, just make sure you line the butt end of your car up against the K-rail. Make sure both cars are lined up that way and closer to the tire wall so that we don't have anybody out in the middle of the line. And then the last thing I have here is party stuff. Of course, we're going to get you all into a party together on Xbox Live. Just make sure to be considerate of everybody else that's in there. I don't think I have to go too far into this one again. There's one other thing from here that I want to... Yeah, if there's ever anything regarding lag or you have to go somewhere, always let somebody know. Even if it's not staff, let a driver know. Let a driver know, and then he can...
Ooh, sweet, thank you.
Manoa? God dang it.
Apologies.
You're good. And then only drivers should be in the party. If you get into the party, don't invite your friends in unless they're driving. This one, it shouldn't be too hard this time because it's all going to be straight, just like the 8 people each time. So just if you get an invite from us, hop in. Don't invite anybody else unless we ask you to. All right. And that's all I have. Again, I told you this was going to be a little bit shorter than usual because this is a straightforward track. So I'm just going to go through, answer some of you guys' questions about the layout. E-brake use at OC3. Let me go back to the map real quick. I mean, I don't know about banning it. It's something that is gonna get considered for sure. It's something we're gonna be it's not a place where you should be e-braking. Once you get through OC2, you should be on throttle and using your momentum to get all the way through that and not e-brake. So if somebody does use e-brake, then we're gonna see it and take that into consideration. It's not something we're gonna say don't do that, because there could be a situation where somebody may have to do that to be on a certain line or something, and that will be if you have to make a correction to stay behind that, then that's going to be a mistake on them, not you. But once you come out of OC2, some people do e-brake there, and that's pretty much okay. But I hope that answers your question. OC2 should be early on the wall or late. Really, you should be on the wall right where the bridge is, for the most part. Really, whatever gets you to OC3 better. That's my best answer for that. Whatever allows you to get out to the next wall in turn 10 better is what we'd rather see. I know, Puppa, you're driving the teeny tiny Solstice, so you probably have some problems getting out to the outer walls a little bit versus some of the other big cars. But yeah, really, if I was gonna say early or late, I'd say later for sure. But who is who we battle first? Atlas. Yeah, I'll try. I'll remember this time. I got you. I got you this time. And then who you battle first is decided just based on everybody that has signed up. You should have seen the poll questionnaire there. when you signed up, us to help us figure out where we should put you. If you've never done a competition before, we're going to put you down lower so that you're driving with other people that have never done an event before. But if you've done events before and I've seen you doing events somewhere else on the Forza forum or whichever, or if you did stuff with us in Forza 4, then obviously you're going to be pushed up higher. Sign-ups are going to close sometime on Thursday. So Thursday night, I'm going to have all the divisions figured out and who's facing who and all that. And I'll be notifying all of you individually once I have a good idea of that. It would be like Friday morning by the latest is when I would have all that ready to go. And I'll make sure you guys all know what you're doing once I figure out what I'm doing. Regarding cars, I'm going to be doing that starting like tomorrow. I'm going to be going through and looking at all the cars. The first two events, we were really, I hate to say it, but we were very relaxed about it. Obviously, we had red flags when we saw certain cars be teched and everything. But we didn't do the full, like, what we plan on doing for the championship. For this week, because of the amount of people we have, I'm going to go through and double check everyone's cars completely. And once I do that, I'll be sending everyone a message. If you don't hear from me, your car's fine. If you do hear from me, I'll let you know what we needed to fix, what we needed to change to make your car be legal. Yes, Division 1, no matter what, Division 1's going to be going on Saturday. Let me pull it up. Yeah, no matter what, Division 1 is going to be on Saturday. Like I said, we have no idea how long this is going to take. We have no idea. I feel like it's going to go faster than how it usually goes, because there's not a whole lot of, we got to get this group in and this group in and everything. I think it's going to be, we have the 8, and we have the next 8 and the next 8. So this time around, I'm going to say Saturday will be like Division 2 and Division 1. And then Friday night 4 and 3, unless we have like an overwhelming amount of people that can't do, or an overwhelming amount of people that can't from 4 and 3 that can't do Friday night. That'd be the only way. It'd be like, okay, well then we'll do everything Saturday. Because like I said, we have 32 people signed up right now. Last time I checked, which is about how much we would have for a normal event. So you'd think that would take the same amount of time as a usual one, but I just want to make sure, because everybody hates when something that's supposed to take a couple hours takes a whole day, and I have seen too many of those. I've seen way too many of those. But that's the general plan. Pull it up again. Yeah, around 6 to 9, depending on who's on, depending on who we can get on and everything, we'll get as much as we can done. But for sure, 2 and 3, or 1 and 2 are absolutely Saturday. So, I don't think speaks is the right word. I think communicates. He's got to speak first to speak. No, you really should interrupt me, Wanted.
I want to do something if I don't have to.
I'm like, I wanted other people in here, so
I'm not going to interrupt you when you're talking.
There's so much silence. There's so much me just going, you know? But, oh gosh, Manila, you have a verb now named after you.
I have a what?
You have a verb named after you. Congratulations. There is now such a thing as pulling a Manila that doesn't have to do with the other things that pulling a Manila have to do with.
Well,
We'll talk about it later.
I guess. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But Atlas, I see you. I see you. All right.
Yeah, go ahead and you can take your card as many times as you need to until we start running. Until the event starts. And then it's got to be nailed down. Because I don't plan on going through and looking at everybody's cards again like the day of. So, or as the event's going on or whatever, I don't plan on sitting there and making sure everybody's car is okay, like on my spreadsheet. So, you can do it as many times as you need to. I'll just look at the latest one, and when we get into the regular season and championship time, I'll have another form made so that you can just should you have to make updates and everything, you just put in who you are and it'll give you the options of whatever cars that you've signed up, and then you can just type in immediately what changes that you made. But obviously we don't have a need for that really right now, so that's why it's not there. No, yeah, Yoshi, you remember on 4 how it'll eventually work in the championship is you'll have 2 cars that are yours, one as a primary and a backup, and when you sign up for each event, you just say which car you're going to use. That's the only time that gets locked in. For the preseason stuff, it's all just straight whatever you want to use. Oh yeah, Grey Wolf. I am sorry. You came in through Facebook and didn't see the other thing. I'm gonna share the I'll reshare the thread again on Facebook. Basically, Wolf, all you have to do is go to the thread link and then you'll see a Tech My Car real big. Just click that and then fill out all the info. And I gotta warn you, it's a big form to fill out because it's all your upgrades and everything. So I wouldn't even bother with it until you know exactly what you're doing with your car, and then go ahead and go through and do all that. After this, we have our regular season. We'll know what we're doing, basically. After this, we're gonna have 6 rounds. As of right now, we have 6 rounds. We may add the 7th. This was supposed to be our first round, but when I saw this new format being used by other people, I wanted to just take a moment to try it. As Atlas is saying there, I have not released what tracks are going to be, but we will have 6 throughout the year. And I will say that the latter half of the year is, we're basically just using all of the hardest tracks that are on the game right now. It's pretty difficult, unnecessarily difficult. So I'm just gonna say that, and right now we do have 1 round in the rain too. So there's that, which is probably news to Wanted in Manila, who are sitting here on the call.
I've known about it.
My body is ready. It's like, nah, I am fucked, but we're good.
I'm pretty sure I know what track it's on too.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. We'll be alright.
They have to reduce the horsepower.
Um, Backup car may
Let
have
all
to
those
come out.
let
for
all the air out of
this.
your tires. Let's go. At 15 psi though.
What? What about 15 psi?
Tire pressure.
What,
And before
whose?
you look at my car, it actually runs 15 psi anyway.
Oh yeah, and before that's on the backup car too.
The ring would be interesting.
You got some
That's
cute
that's not it.
lips. Said no one ever. It's
Oh,
like
What the fuck?
oh, okay.
I saw the shot and I
This
had to
is
shoot back.
okay. Leader for the party. I'm gonna. It'll be like a game day kind of thing. I think it's either gonna be. I have to get a new mic first of all. I'm trying to get a new mic beforehand. I'm not getting another stupid Xbox mic. I've had like so many break now. Um, but I'm gonna get a new mic first. So either it's gonna be me leading the party. It could be Manila here, potentially.
What would I be
Or
doing?
just who's the party leader, like to know where invites are gonna come from.
Oh, yeah. I did
Basically,
this shit for Lime Rock, so it shouldn't
yeah.
be too hard.
Basically, like if you see an invite from anybody with DMA in their gamer tag, go ahead and accept that and hop in. You don't have to add them. I'll I'll have all of you guys. I think I already do have all of you guys added. So um, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you can if you want to.
Yeah, if you
I mean,
want to
it's
chill and
cool,
drift and shit, add us.
but you don't need to. Ogre's a true Honda driver.
Well,
That's funny.
did I stall the gate van?
No, he's talking about Ogre at Indy.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Oh
I'm looking
yeah,
for them lips, boy. It's like, nah.
when or when Stance couldn't even see you, Manila. Remember that at Lime Rock?
Oh, yeah, and he kept
When he would just
driving into me.
drive through you, and it was just like, what are you
Yeah, like,
doing?
thanks, you're moving me.
What are you
Like,
doing?
why is your S chassis moving a Vandura? Wait. Someone explain this to me first.
All right, well, if you guys don't have any more serious questions, well, I'm gonna do a last call for serious questions, and then I'm probably gonna hop on Forza and do a couple laps if y'all want to join. It's gonna be
Right.
interesting. I was driving earlier and like, I could not, like I just could not. I don't know what was going on. Like when I was going through everything to double check the clips and everything and line all that up, I was doing like perfectly fine. But then when I joined a lobby with other people, I was just like all over the place. It was like there were like a couple of people I'd never driven with before. It was just like this first impression though. This is good. Alrighty, well.
No, fuck Tinder.
Alright, well.
The Instagram is DMA Drift Machine.
I think he's asking for yours, buddy.
Wink.
Slide into the DMs though. Now, if you guys want to get
Yeah,
some.
someone's trying to hit me in the DM. Jesus.
Yeah, I see that. If any of you guys want to drift in a second, go ahead and add me at DMA Boston Troy, or SES Wanted, or CPT Manila Face. Either way. Obviously, I won't be joining a party with you guys because I can't. So I don't have a mic, but I will talk to you guys. Oh yeah, if you have any more questions, message me on Xbox. Post on our Facebook page. Post on the thread for the event. Anywhere. I'll try to I'll try to be as updated on all of that as I can. The best way to do it is to message me on Xbox though. It. I'm just gonna. Bada boom, and then now my desktop audio is muted, so get wrecked. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on Forza in a little bit. And I didn't even advance the slide to the last thing. Boom. Okay, thanks. Okay. See you guys later.